um Welcome guys to my channel. Today I'm going to teach you about what geometric sequence. Before I teach you, I like to share with you some tips about arithmetic sequence because of I know that there's some things that I forgot to tell you about in arithmetic sequence. So before completing with geometric sequence, let's just start with what arithmetic sequence. In arithmetic sequence, I forgot to tell you that our constant difference d is equals to what? T2 minus T1, like this, guys. I even forgot to tell you that T2 minus T1, it is always equals to what? To T3 minus T2. It is also equals to what? To T4 minus T3. It is always equals to T4 minus T3. It is also equals to T5 minus, it is always equals to T5 minus T4, like that. You see? Yes. And then I even forgot to tell you that our, let me wrap here for a moment. I even forgot to tell you that T1, it is always equals to A, right? And T2, it is always equals to A plus D. And T3, it is always equals to A plus 2D. So, and T4, it is always equals to A plus 3D, like that, guys. If you have in arithmetic sequence, if you don't have a formula but you have your first term, which is A, and what? Your constant difference, which is D, you can also find these terms. You can find T1, you can find T2, you can find T3, and you can find T4. You see, guys, just like that. So even if when you look for your common what, for your common difference, before you, even if you look for your common difference, you can just use this formula. You see, this formula, you can just use this one. You see, before finding your general formula, you know that your first term will always be there. Your first term, it is A, right? We know that our formula for arithmetic sequence is what? Is Tn is equals to A plus D into n minus 1, right? We know that our first term, it is always there. Our first term, our A is T1, you know, you can find it. But this one, you must use this formula. For D, which is common difference, you must use this formula, which is T2 minus T1. You see, guys, you must use this kind of formula, this type of formula. You see, after you find your common difference, you can plug it in this equation and find your general term. Just like that, guys. Just like that. So, I'm done talking about arithmetic sequence. So, let's just get started with geometric sequence. Let me just wrap here for a moment. For a moment, guys, for a moment. As I was saying, in geometric sequence, right? In geometric sequence, we have our general term like this. Our general term is what? Tn, it is equals to A into Rn minus 1. You see? And then where our what? Our Tn is our what? Our general, let me just write this general proper. general term, you see, or the value of the nth term. You see, guys, and where our a, let me just write here for a moment. Where our a is our what? Our first term. You know that, guys. Where also our r is what? Our r is common ratio or constant. You can call it constant also, or constant ratio. You see, when it comes to geometric sequence, T1, it is always equals to A, and T2, it is always equals to AR. You see, T3, it is always equals to AR squared, and T4, it is always equals to AR cubed, and T5, it is always equals to what? AR to the what? To the 4. You see, guys, even though you don't have what? Your general term, like you don't have your general term, you have what? Your first term and the what? Your constant ratio. You can just sub these two variables into what? You can just use these two variables to just find your T1, your T2, your T3, and your T4 and your T5. Even if you don't have a formula, guys, you see, you can just use this method. You see, even if it is T100, it is always equals to AR to the power 99, like that, guys, like that. You see, you can also find T100 by using your first term and your what? Your constant or common ratio. You see, guys, just like that. It is easy to get marks like this, guys. Let's just hear what our example says. Example, it says, consider the geometric sequence 2, 3, 4,5, 6.25. It says that determine the formula for the general term of the sequence. We know, guys, that our general term is what? Tn is equals to what? AR to the n minus 1. AR to the n minus, let me just write it properly. Tn is equals to what? AR to the n, right, minus 1. Like this, guys. You see, we know that this is our formula for what? For geometric sequence. You see, we have our first term, our a, which is what? 2. You can see that. You see, our first term here, right? We have our constant ratio. I forgot to tell you guys that r, right, r, it is always equals to what? T2 over T1, and it is also equals to what? T3 over T2, like that. Just like that, guys. Just like that. You see, r, it is always equals to T2 over T1, or it can be equals to T3 over T2, or it can be equals to what? It can be equals to something like this. It can be equals to, let me just wrap here for a moment. Our R, which is our common ratio or constant ratio, it is always equals to what? Again, it is always equals to T100 over T99. You see, just like that. And there's something that I forgot to tell you about. I forgot to tell you that T2 over T1, it is also equals to T3 over T2. It is also equals to T4 over T4 over T3. Like that, guys. Like that, you see? These things, these things, they give us the value of R. They give us what? The common ratio. That is why they are equal to each other. You see, guys? Yeah. Let me show you. Let me just continue with my example. Yeah. In my example, remember, they wanted the general term, right? Our A, we say our A, it is our first term, right? Our first term, which is what? Which is 2, right? But our what? Remember, our R, which is common ratio, it is equals to what? To T2, you see? T2 over T1. Like this, guys. Or you can just say T3 over T2, right? You're still going to get the same thing, right? Remember, our T2 is what? It is 3, right? And then our T1 is what? It is 2. So our ratio, which is R, it is equals to what? 3 over 2. You see? Therefore, we sub it to our what? To our formula to determine what? The general formula of the sequence. You see, guys? Let me just show you. Remember, our general formula is what? For geometric sequence is Tn, right? Is equals to ARn minus 1. Like this. It is Tn equals to ARn minus 1. Like that, guys. Then, where we see A, we are going to put what? 2. Right? Multiply by what? Multiply by 3 over 2. You see, guys, where I saw R, I put 3 over 2 because of my R is what? Is 3 over 2. All over. My R is 3 over 2. To the exponent what? N minus 1. Just like that. This is my formula. You see, guys? This is my formula. Let me just write it properly. My N minus 1. Like that, guys. This is my formula for the what? For the Tn. You see, guys? You see? Just like that. Let's just hear what they say here in number B. What they say that find the value of the 15th term. Right, guys? We have our general formula. Our general formula is what? Tn. They say they want the 50th term. Let me just make an example before I start with number B. We have our first term. We have our second term. We have our third term. Right, guys? We have our fourth term. Right? We continue. There's term number 15 that we do not know about. Right? We cannot find the 15th term if we do not have the formula. In order for us to find the 50th term, we must have the formula, right? Just let me just make an example of what I'm talking about when I say uh, when I say when they say they want. Let me show you what they are talking about when they say they want the value of the 50th term. Guys, here, this is the value of the first term, right? This 2. This is the value of the second term, this 3. This is the value of the third term, this 4. This is the value of the fourth term, this what? This 5. This is the value of the what? Of the 50th, of the fifth term, this 6,25. As we continue with our sequence, we reach at what? Term number 50. It is right here, the value of term number 50. But we don't know what it is. In order for us to know what it is, remember guys, n is what gives us the position, right guys? So if I want the value of what? Of the first term, I'm going to use my general formula to find the value of the first term, which means that where I see n, I'm going to put 1 because of my first term it is in position number 1, right? Then get the value of the what? Of the first term, which is what? Which is 2, right guys? If I'm looking for what? For term number 2, I'm going to what? Where I see my general formula, I'm going to put what? I'm going to put where I see in my general formula, where I see n, I'm going to put what? 2, because of my second term, it is in position number 2, to get what? 3, like that, you see? So in what? In 50th term, if I want the term number 15, I shall do the same. Where I see n, I'm going to put what? 15, like this guys, like this. Let me show you an example. Remember, our general formula is what? Is Tn, like this, is equals to what? To 2 multiplied by what? 3 over 2 into what? N minus, let me just write it properly so that it can fit here, right guys? My general term, it is equals to what? To 2 multiplied by what? Multiply by 3 over 2, like this, all over n minus 1, like this. Let me just write it here. In fact, n minus 1. I don't know why I cannot write it properly, right? Remember, my general formula, it is like this. Tn is equals to what? To 2 multiplied by what? 3 over 2 to the exponent n minus 1. Like this, guys. Like this. Remember, this is my general formula for this. What? This is my equation or general formula. This for this term, for this sequence, right? So if they say they want they say to me that find the 50th term, where I see 15, where I see n, I'm going to what, to put 15, because of my 50th term is in the position number 15, right? Like this, I'm going to say T15, it is equals to what, to 2 multiplied by what, 3 over 2 into what, 15 minus 1, like this, guys. Like, let me just press my calculator for the moment, guys, and get my T15. 3 over 2 to the exponent 15 minus 1, right? So my answer here is what, 583,86. I just round off my calculator into 2 decimal places, right? But remember, in the exams, if they say that round off to 2 decimal places, you round off to 2 decimal places. If they say round off to 3 decimal places, you round off to 3 decimal places. It means that they want the what? 3 numbers after comma. Right, guys? Right, guys? Yeah. So, another alternative method, you can just use this formula, guys. Remember it. Remember it. This formula. Let me just show you quick. This formula, T15, it is equals to what? AR to the 14. Like this, guys. Like this. You see? Your first term is what? Is 2, remember. Your common ratio is what? 3 over 2. Like this. All over to the 14. Right? Then you will get your answer. You will still get your answer. Which is what? Which is 583,86. Right, guys? Right, guys? Even if it was an arithmetic sequence, right? Even if it was an arithmetic sequence, you have what? Your first term, which is A, your common difference, which is D. You can still find the what? Any term you want. Right, guys? Like for an example, if you if you wanted what, T20, you can just set in arithmetic sequence. You can just say that T20 is equals to what? A plus 19D. You see? Like that. Plus 19D. You see? Like that. Where you see A, you sub A, you can use up what? D. And get your T20. Just like that. Without using what? Your general term or your nth term. You see, guys? So, this is the time for me to say goodbye, and this is the end of my video. So thank you guys for watching. Until we meet again on the next video, on my next video, don't forget to like and subscribe into my channel. Adios.